Welcome back to the Full View. Now, the Road Traffic Management Corporation says that more than 1,000 road users have been arrested alongside 900 vehicles that were impounded during law enforcement operations conducted across the country since the start of this Easter long weekend. It says among those arrested, it included those for drunken driving, producing a false driving documentation, reckless and negligent driving, as well as overloading of both goods and passengers. The vehicles were impounded mainly in KwaZulu-Natal and Mpumalanga for the violation of public transport operating permits. Law enforcement officers say they will show no tolerance to people who break the rules of the road by driving under the influence of alcohol or at excessive speeds or driving without the necessary documents. All major routes in the country are expecting heavy traffic volumes as the Easter long weekend draws to a close. Motorists and pedestrians alike are all being urged to comply with the rules while on the road and to be extra vigilant so as not to contribute to accidents. For a nationwide overview of what is currently happening on our roads, let's now extend a warm welcome once again to Mr. Simon Zwane, the spokesperson of the Road Traffic Management Corporation. Simon, as always, thank you so much for joining us. Look, what is the latest on the country's roads? We understand about 900 vehicles were impounded. Do tell us more.
Yes, the roads were slightly busy today, but we're expecting massive amounts of vehicles to come in tomorrow. Our officers are still out on the roads and we are enforcing the roads. They are not going to accept any excuses. And those who are driving outside of the normal routes without the permits, they must know by now that those vehicles will be impounded. But those who are driving unroadworthy vehicles, the vehicles will be discontinued. And we've got more than 16,000 traffic fines already issued for those who are either speeding, not wearing seat belts. Of concern, though, is the number of people who are producing false documents when stopped, and those who are driving without driving licenses. There have been a number of arrests made, and our officers are out looking for such incidents that are compromising the safety of others on the roads.
Simon, let's expand on that point of, the fraudulent or false documents. Talk to us about other collaborative efforts that you currently have in place in order to clamp down on illegal behavior on the road, such as, of course, undocumented drivers and even passengers, and even those unroadworthy or unlicensed drivers as well as vehicles.
Yeah, we are out on the roads together with members of South African Police Service, the cross-border authority, the border management authorities, and the customs people. So whenever people are found, those who are illegal immigrants, they've also been arrested in the different stops and checks. And then there are those then who are driving. They're driving while knowing that they don't have driving licenses. Those will also be arrested. And then there are those who are driving drunk, and those are also being dealt with accordingly. And those who are driving far above 160 kilometers and above, and those will be arrested immediately.
Now, compared to the previous year, it seems like this year was relatively incident-free, apart from, of course, that major bus accident in Limpopo. Simon, what would you say actually contributed to safer road usage as well as less incidents on the country's roads at this period?
I think over time, some people have internalized the messages. They are planning their trips accordingly and ensuring they avoid traveling all at the same time when there's peak travel. As I was on the road, I've seen some people starting to go back to Gauteng, and those are the guys who are having caravans, and then those who are returning from church services in different parts of the country. So that also assists, because then we would have to deal with, we don't have to deal with a high number on one day. So as people are staggering their trips like that, it is what we are encouraging. We've seen a positive response to that, where people are planning their trips accordingly, and they are avoiding traveling all at the same time. But we still are advising people to be patient on the road, expect that there will be delays because we have law enforcement out there, but there may be other incidents on the road that cause delays. So we must be patient with the officers, and be patient with each other. There has been and collided with law enforcement officers in KwaZulu-Natal. We don't want to see those kinds of incidents. So we want to advise people to really behave themselves and be patient on the road.
Very commendable indeed, Simon. Now, throwing forward to the next holiday season, are there any safety plans currently in place or being curated or drafted to ensure that festive holiday as well as holiday breaks do not amount to road deaths as well as preventable accidents?
Yes, we are not going to completely disengage after these holidays. We know that there is the Freedom Day coming, end of April, Workers' Day, right up to Election Day. So we'll continue to keep vigilance on the roads until all of those holidays have come to an end, and then we'll continue with our normal work.
And in closing, very quickly, Simon, I'm not sure if you have the numbers with you, and I know that the final tally will, of course, be tabled after tomorrow, but do you have any numbers in terms of the death toll on South African roads during this period?
I don't have the numbers. They're being tallied from all the police stations throughout the country. So there's a process of verifying those numbers. I would be misleading public if I were to venture out any numbers.
All right. Thank you so much, Simon. We'll definitely talk to you once that final official tally is out in terms of how South Africa fared in terms of road accidents as well as incidents during this Easter long weekend period. That is Road Traffic Management Corporation spokesperson, Mr. Simon Zwane.